Today, we're talking about control scope, the process that keeps your project from turning into an uncontrollable monster. Before we dive in, let's do a quick refresher on scope management. Scope management is all about defining, managing, and controlling what is and isn't included in a project. It keeps us from overcommitting and under-delivering. The 6 scope management processes are: 1. Plan scope management decides how scope will be defined and controlled. 2. Collect requirements, gathers stakeholder needs and expectations. 3. Define scope, creates the detailed project scope statement. 4. Create WBS, breaks down scope into manageable work packages. 5. Validate scope, gets formal acceptance of completed deliverables. 6. Control scope, keeps scope in check and prevents unauthorized changes. What is the control scope process? Control scope is all about monitoring project scope and managing changes effectively. The goal? Keep the project on track, ensure all work aligns with the agreed scope, and avoid scope creep. This process happens throughout the project, not just at the end. It ensures that if changes happen, they go through a formal change control process instead of sneaking in unnoticed. Now we will break down the inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs. For inputs, you will need project management plan, specifically the scope management plan, requirements management plan, and change management plan to guide scope control. Project documents. It includes requirements documentation and the requirements traceability matrix to compare actual work to planned scope. Work performance data. This tracks actual project work like completed tasks, effort spent, and progress made. Organizational process assets. Things like change control policies and historical data from past projects. Next are tools and techniques. These are variance analysis. Compares actual scope performance with the plan to identify deviations. If something isn't going as planned, this analysis helps figure out why. Trend analysis. Looks at past scope changes to predict future ones. If a project is constantly seeing changes in scope, it might be a red flag. Data analysis includes reviewing stakeholder requests, performance data, and scope documentation to assess whether changes are needed. Change control system. A formal process for evaluating, approving, or rejecting scope changes. This ensures every change is documented and justified. Finally, the outputs. These are work performance information, data on how scope is being managed and any deviations from the plan, change requests. If changes are necessary, they'll go through the formal process for approval. Updates to the project management plan. The scope baseline, requirements documentation, and other key documents might need revisions based on scope control findings. Updates to project documents. The lessons learned register, requirements traceability matrix, and other records may be updated to reflect changes. So, why is control scope is critical? Without scope control, projects can spiral out of control. A little change here, a small addition there, and suddenly your project timeline and budget are blown to pieces. When done right, control scope helps. Prevent scope creep by ensuring every change is properly reviewed and approved. Improve stakeholder communication by clarifying what's included and what's not. Maintain project timelines and budgets by avoiding unnecessary work. Enhance project success rates by keeping work aligned with business objectives. Ensure smooth project closure by confirming all scope elements are completed as planned. Here is a quick recap. Control scope is the process of monitoring scope and preventing unauthorized changes. Key inputs include the project management plan, requirements documentation, and work performance data. The main tools are variance analysis, trend analysis, data analysis, and the change control system. The major outputs are work performance information, change requests, and updates to the project plan and documents. A strong scope control process prevents scope creep, keeps projects on schedule, and ensures stakeholders stay happy. That is it for this week. We have new PMP videos every Thursday. Make sure to subscribe so you can pass that exam.